Hi, my name is Ray. I'm with MEMETech, and I wanted to show another project that I've been working on. I had already previously made this project, sort of. Like, this is version 2. I don't have it on here, but this is version 2. Actually, let me see if I can find it real quick. Um, wait, is it this one? No, not this one. There it is. I had already made this one previously, and it worked. Everything worked. Just when I got real close to the top, right here, I was real close to not being able to use this for what it was intended to be used. Mostly, I mean, I've used it already for many other things. I've used it for priority, like, I don't know, more than 5 jobs that I remember, I think. So I mean, it's worked or whatever. It's worked pretty good. There's just some things that I really wanted to change. I wanted to make the outer diameter bigger because that's what was limiting to me on the first time around. Whenever I did the job that it was intended to be made for, it almost didn't work out. I was like, damn, this is crazy. um, it almost didn't work out for what I really wanted it to work out for. I mean, of course it worked for other things. Like I said, I've already used it like a couple of times. But for the main job, I was like, oh shit, we came real close to not being able to use this. So I decided to change the OD. It's 15-inch on this to match the chuck, a 15-inch chuck on my haas. Well, not mine. On the haas SL40 at work, it's a 15-inch chuck. So I did 15-inch plate, but that, like I said, that limited me sort of. So I decided on this time around, I decided to change a few things, and one of the main things was, of course, the OD. I changed it to 18 inches, and a lot of the scratch that. One of the problems was also that it was really, really thick, or I guess the overall thickness of the assembly was really big. It was too big. I should have put a fucking drawing, because that's what I did for my Spanish video. I had a picture or a drawing showing the differences. But yeah, one of the main differences was this was too big. This is 3 inches, I believe. From here to here, I can check it real quick. Although I probably should re-record this video to show the little drawing. It wasn't a little drawing. It was just like some little thing I had scratched up with. So as you can see, this is 3 inches. So what that basically means is that at the bare minimum, whatever boring bar you're using to bore your jaws out, you're gonna have to add 3 inches in order for your tool, block, or for the turret not to hit the chuck or this basically. So yeah, that's kind of bad. I decided to keep most of the things the same. Like, for example, one thing that I did keep is the thickness of the plate. It's 3/4. I kept that thickness of the plate on the other thing, 3/4. I did change the material though. On this one, I used. Let me actually show the picture. On this one, I had used 836 for the plate, 3/4 inch 836 plate, and the parts were made out of 4140 quenched and tempered. But this time around, I decided to purchase. I already purchased it. I decided to go with A514 steel, and that cost me like $150 or something like that. So I like, fuck it. It's good. It's a 6-inch bore with an 18-inch. Not this one. This one's 15 by 6. But the one that I'm designing, the one that you saw at the beginning, is a 6-inch by 18-inch. So it's a little bit bigger than this one. Just to make sure it fits mostly everything. And I guess the next step, the next part, the next little invention or whatever would be one with an 8-inch bore or a 10-inch bore maybe. In case someone wants to grab something that's 10-inch in diameter. But since I don't need it right now, probably not. I probably won't be doing that right now. But yeah, this is basically the one that I had made initially. Like I said, the little parts are made out of 4140. The plate is made out of 836. So already began rusting out a bit. But I've used it like I said a handful of times already, so it's paid itself off in my opinion, I guess. So yeah, this is the old one. Just wanted to show off what it was and what the things that I wanted to change. It's also another thing that I want to change. I guess let me show it now since I'm talking about the things that I wanted to change. One of the things that concerned me as well was I made the distance too small, and it's probably not really a problem. But like I said, I'm not an engineer. I don't know shit. I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying, do it. So in my opinion, I had left this a little too small, and I know it's a good size enough. I mean, it worked, and it worked. You know what I'm saying? And in the beginning, I had thought that it cracked on me, but it was just, I guess I didn't machine it right. I just machined a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It already left like a little thing in there. But I thought it had broken, but it didn't. Like, I had showed it to my dad and I showed it to my brother to get their opinions, and they were like, no, it didn't crack. It's just a little thing. And then my brother, I think he tore it apart and like, oh, okay. It was like a little, I don't know how to say it in English. Like a little cascara. Like, it was just like a little, not a chip. I guess a chip, but I didn't mean like it chipped off. It was just like some little flat part of a chip that just stayed stuck. And I thought it was a crack, but it wasn't. But it was like around right here where my mouse is, like right here. So that had concerned me, but so I decided to fuck it, you know what I'm saying? I decided to change the dimension. So right here it's like 0.7. Shit, it's not gonna let me, is it? Fuck, yeah, it's not gonna let me. So right here, yeah, it's not gonna let me. Unless I put it on a drawing. But the distance here is like 760, and then the thread here, I just fucking do it on the thing real quick. It don't really matter. So the thread is ½ inch by 20. I don't know why I made a ½ inch by 20. Oh, because I had chosen 4140 steel, and I had read that if you're gonna tap hard materials, well, it's not ultra hard, you know what I'm saying? But it's like kind of hard, you know what I'm saying? Kind of, you know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna tap some hard material, that it's better to use a fine tap or some shit, because you know it's less deep or whatever or some shit. I don't know. So I just went with that. So it's supposed to be a ½ inch thread. So let me just put ½ inch. Then we got this thing right here. Oh, okay. Right here. I don't want everybody to let me do it. Let's just do it like that. Okay. Actually, I got a better one. This. Actually, that's not how it works either. Plus, it's not even centered. Oh my god. Right there. Yeah, it's like 0.734. So if you take like sort of the distance, like it's not gonna be accurate, but it's like 100 thousandths, you know what I'm saying? It's not much. If you check it with the caliper, you're gonna get around that much, 100, 110, 120 thousandths. So that was also one of my main concerns, is that I had left that wall too thin. So I decided to also make that one of the changes that I was gonna change in the second version, which I did. I decided to change the overall width of this to like 900 thousandths instead of 734 thousandths as it is right now. It's like 920 something, whatever the equivalence in standard is, 920 something. And I just left like around 9 thousandths of space of Nintendo between the two parts. So it's 4.5 thousandths per side. 4.5 thousandths here, 4.5 thousandths here. But this, most of what I'm talking about means nothing until I show it. But yeah, let me show it in a bit. But yeah, those are the main things that I wanted to change. I think I made this shorter as well. This is 1 inch from here to here. And I changed that to 3/4 inch. Just because I know I didn't really need the 1 inch. So I changed it to 3/4 inch. And I also changed this distance here. I made it smaller. I think it's 3/8 on the new part. Because I didn't really need all that. Because I also needed to decrease the overall thickness. Because like I said, the more thickness you have, the more you have to increase on the boring bar. And the more you have to increase on the boring bar, which means it'll probably, you know, vibrate, squeal, blah, blah, blah on you. You know, it'll give you a bad surface finish. So I decided to make this, you know, thinner as well. So instead of 1 1/4, I think it's 3/8. So yeah, those are pretty much the changes I wanted to make. It worked and everything, and I'm still using it. You know, I fucking used it like a couple of days ago to bore out some jaws. Um, so yeah, just wanted to show the old one, and now let me go to the new one real quick. Right here, close this. All right, so this is the new one. All these little extra things, like right here, this little thing, and this little thing, and it's copied 3 times in total. So you got one row right here, you got another row right here, then you got another row right here, 3 rows. Those are just to take off weight. And to take off weight, I basically use one rule. Let me just show the geometry I use on this real quick. My main rule was to leave around 3/4 thickness of material everywhere. So that means between here and here, there has to be at least 3/4. Between here and here, there has to be at least 3/4. Between here and here, there has to be at least 3/4. Between everywhere, everywhere, there has to be at least 3/4 material. Because I mean, like I said, I'm not an engineer. I just decided, if this is a 3/4 plate, I'm gonna just leave 3/4 around 3/4 inch worth of material everywhere around. You know what I mean? Just to make sure there's like a little, I don't know, there's like no deviation. There's like, what I'm saying, parts where it's really small. No, there's at least 3/4 material everywhere you go. And I think that would help. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an engineer. I'm just some dumbass just trying to, do things or whatever. So yeah. These 3 things are just to take off weight. This would be burned in the plasma or the torch or whatever, the CNC, whatever it is where you get it cut. I personally sent it out to get burned, or I don't even know what they do. I just think it's torch or plasma. I don't know nothing about this. But anyways, they're gonna cut this for me, and I will actually show. I already uploaded this to Patreon, and I will show everything, and everything is for free to download or whatever. Excuse me. And I will actually show the burn profile, the burn plate, because I left like a reference. I of course took this off, took this profile off, this slot off. This slot is also off, and this slot is also off. And those are going to be machined. But the rest of these, like I said, the row of 3 profiles right here, 3 profiles right here, 3 profiles right here, those are going to be burned, plasma, whatever, lasered, I don't know. But these, they will be machined with, I don't know, 1/2 inch end mill, 3/4 end mill, whatever I got. And over here, I left a note for the guy who's cutting the plate to please make a hole here. I asked him in the email if they could do a hole. He didn't answer me. He just quoted me. So I'm assuming they're doing everything I asked them to do, because they didn't answer, because I had left like 2 questions, like I don't remember what the first question was, but the second question was, can y'all make this hole? Because I know the plate thickness is 3/4, and there's like some rule about making certain holes or some shit. But I was like, it's not really important. It can be plus minus an eighth. It's just for my reference. So whenever I center here on the mill, I just go center over here, and I got the reference where the first one has to go. I'll make my G54 here, and I'll get it as close to over here as possible. But yeah, I will show that in a bit. Actually, I'll just show it right now. Let me show. It's because I wanted to show the geometry, but I might as well show the drawings off right now real quick. So this is the first drawing. I'll get to that's the last drawing. It's page 5, the one with the burn profile. But this is the first drawing. It's just the assembly drawing. You got the 2 parts, the parts 2 and 3, over right here, part 2 and part 3. Wait, what the fuck? 2, 3. Okay, I remember doing them differently, but never mind. Fucking. So we got 2 and 3, and then plate. The number 1 is the plate right here, which is the yellow plate. And then item 4 is the screws, the 1/2 inch by 20 socket head cap screws. And that's pretty much it for the assembly. Right here, you'll see the thickness that you have to add to your boring bar would essentially be 1 7/8 compared to 3 inches. It's probably better. I mean, it's not as good as you're gonna get, but it's as good as I'm gonna get it, I think. And like I had mentioned on the other one was 1 inch. I decided to go with 3/4 inch for this one. So I just leave it like that. What else? Like I said, the other one's 15 inch. This one's 18 inch. The boring stays the same. It's 6 inch. And this is just the distance between the two things right here. 17 thousandths is what I left it. Let's see. I think that's it for the drawings. At least for the assembly. This is just the detail for the milling. I didn't put too much information on there. Just the information that it has to be rotated 3 times, 120 degrees. And just the distance where the center of the radius is for this and this. The distance 922. It doesn't have any details of this because this is gonna be sent to be burned, and I have a DXF. You can download it and send it to your burn guy. You know, in case you're in, I don't know, like fucking Britain or England or what's another? In case you're in, I don't know, Appalachia or you're in Alaska or something. You know, send it to your vendor to your plate vendor or whatever. It has a DXF, and inside it'll have all the information, and it's I'll show it to you in a bit. I'm just talking. All other profiles to take off weight, yeah, like I said, that's why I just added all the other profiles are just take off weight, and they can be burned or plasma. Doesn't really matter. Let's go to page 3, sheet 3, and this is the detail for the thing. I call it a double nut. I have no better name for it, so I just leave it like that. And these are all the dimensions. I think I put all of them. Maybe I'll get back to it some other time and see if I can recreate this just to make sure I put all the measurements, because that's what I do. Like sometimes, like at the end of the drawing, I use only the drawing and the dimensions I put to recreate the part again, just to see if all the dimensions are enough to do it. But I won't do that right now, but it should be good. Anyways, the models are fucking on the Patreon, so if you want to like take out any measurement, you can just take out any measurement. I will say this though, it gets a little tricky right here because this is not centered to this radius. This radius and this thread are not centered. That's why I gave this distance. But I mean, anyone who's drawing it could probably figure that out. So look, if I show this real quick, it's gonna show the radius a little bit, the center of it a little bit lower. See, it's not there, and it's a little bit more over here and a little bit lower. So yeah, just watch out for that. There's only thing to watch out for, but I'm pretty sure I put all the measurements. Let's go to the other one. This one's quite simple. There's all I think it should have everything. Yeah, it's just the top. And then this is what I was talking about, the burn profile plate. So I told the guy, I left it right there, 3/4 inch hole plus minus an eighth for setup, so it can go all the way to 7/8, and that should be good enough. Since my distance is 922, and even if he burns over it, probably doesn't matter. It's just for reference, so I'm gonna mill out everything else. So this is basically what the guy's gonna burn out: the 3 profiles in line, 3 profiles in line, 3 profiles in line, the 6 bore, 18 inch OD, 3/4 plate, A514. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the drawings. So like I said, if you want to take this, if you want to make your own, you can just download the DXF file, send it to your local plate vendor, and they should be able to help you out with the measurements. Oh, and I also have I added a 1/8 stock just to make sure that everything comes out good. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this. Let's go to the assembly just so we can look at it real quick. Like I said, I was gonna show the plate. I basically started with a donut. Through the donut, I cut on the groove. Then I did the circular pattern to get all 3 grooves, 1, 2, 3. After that, I cut out the outside, and then I did basically a Sharingan type of boring ring. but I decided it was too powerful for the world. A mere mortal could not hold this type of tooling in their hands without going mad with power. So I just had to, change it up a bit, because like I said, it's too much power for any mere mortal to hold. So I decided to keep it, a little bit Sharingan, but not too much, as, because you can't go mad with power, I can't have it on me. Then I did this little thing right here to give it a little more strength, because as you can see, it goes this whole line without any reinforcement. So I decided this would help, and I also made the radius here bigger than the radius here. We'll be able to see it right here. This is the circular pattern. It gets that's right here, and that's right here. Then the radiuses, fillets, almost an inch. It doesn't really matter how much you put them. Doesn't matter. Then we got this, and then the circular pattern for this, and we pretty much got everything. Yeah, I'm hoping it'll work. I'm not too sure on the dimensions. It just looks like it'll work, but you never know. Like I said, I'm not an engineer, so I'm hoping it'll work. We'll see. I already ordered the material. Pretty soon, as soon as the lathe is open, or if not, I'll send it to someone. I'll send these out to homie and someone are making here in H-Town or some shit, and I'll have these made. Except for the milling, I'll just do the milling, because I mostly just send out things for the manual shops or whatever, if I ever do send out things. So I can just get homie to make me a blank, or just with whatever diameters I give him, and I'll just mill out whatever profiles are needed and drill out whatever profiles are needed that are, done in a standard lathe. But yeah, I'll make another video soon updating this once I get the plate, machine it, and get the parts together, just so so I can show it. So, and also to make sure that it fucking works, since I increased the diameter, like. But I also did, make some better material. I did choose, like, I guess you could say, better material. I was doing some research, but like I said, I'm not an engineer, so I chose A514 over 836 just because some of the things are just better. The tensile strength is more and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hoping it'll work. I'm just going by some rules, just, like, because most of failures come where there are parts that are thinner than all the thicker parts. But I mean, there's of course thick profiles that could fail, and this probably doesn't make sense to someone hearing this. But anyways, I probably shouldn't go on a tangent, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll update later when I have a chance. As far as any other projects go, I'm already gonna start machining the mill vise. So I will have I think I'm doing the obelisk first. I will be doing the obelisk first, and I'll be making 2 obelisks, because I decided to order 2 pieces of material just in case I fuck one up. And if I don't fuck one up, and it's awesome, I'll have 2 obelisks, 2 working obelisks to make 2 mill vices. So it's a win-win, you know what I'm saying? I either make at least 1 or make at least 2, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I do have an update on other projects soon, but I'm just talking on my ass right now because I don't really have any plans right now. But I'm just going as it goes. So thank you for watching. If you want to download the files, they should be on my Patreon already. The drawings and the IPT files, the inventor model files. I'm pretty sure you can convert them to SolidWorks or whatever it is that you're using. So yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next time.